And
Yeah.
can Danielle, Teresa's, we know how Teresa can be. Can Danielle handle herself if Teresa eventually one day decides Danielle might be, enemy number whatever we're on now?
Yeah, yeah. She's got a lot of Teresa in her.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
like that. You talk about like the show and like what things have done to like relationships. Like I know, you and Dina, don't speak at this point. Do you blame that on RHONJ?
Um, you can't. You can't. No, you can't blame it completely on RHONJ. There. I think what a lot of the times when you see where people say the show, there had to have been underlying issues before the show with any problems that people are having. So I think it just gets piled onto and becomes a breaking point to some. That's all I could say about it.
Right, it's true. It's like people that end up divorcing and they blame it on the show. It's like if you really have a marriage that is rock solid,
Right.
it's not going anywhere.
Correct. Hmm.
What about, I know, you're close with Dolores. Like Dina just recently said that the real reason she didn't go to Teresa's wedding was because of Dolores, and Dolores was going to be there, and Dolores is really close to you.
Hmm.
I mean,
Listen, I don't. If someone, perfect example, Dolores is very close with Teresa, and I support that relationship. You can't own people in life, right? So you could say, all right, I don't like that you're friends with this person, but you could still respect them as a human being. Just keep my name out of your mouth, kind of thing. And that's my philosophy. So it's upsetting when as an adult, you should be able to navigate that a little bit.
right, like your whoever you have an issue with doesn't mean right. It's like it's separation of church and state, so to
Right.
speak.
Right.
Just keep your name out of their mouth.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. There is this narrative out there now too that, like Dina and Dave have kind of fallen out with Luis and Teresa. Does any part of you then feel, like Dina is your sister at the end of the day, whether you're speaking or not? So, I mean, considering you and Teresa don't necessarily get along and you hear that they have fallen out, does any part of you kind of sigh a sigh of relief?
No, no. Again, I don't own people and I don't direct them who to hang out with. So no, and I don't know anything about the scenario, what happened, or I've heard a lot of stories, both ways. So it's one of those things that I'm just from afar and I don't even pay attention to it really.
That makes sense. And before we move on from this topic, like, I mean, do you foresee reconciling with Dina anytime in the foreseeable future?
Probably not. Mm-mm.
Well, you're busy with food, love, and chaos.
Hmm.
Is there an ideal guest that you want? Like if you just had Isaac to your house. I mean, by the way, I just would like you to know on my bucket list of things to do in my life, it is to, leave New York City and come across the river and cook with you in that iconic kitchen. Just FYI.
And
But
come and cook.
I would love to come cook. Who would you like if you could just, choose anyone off the top of your head or people, who would you love to have on Food, Love, and Chaos?
Well, unfortunately, the one person that I would have loved to have is no longer on the earth, but it would have been Betty White because she would have had to have stories. I love somebody that with stories. I want to hear your stories, and I love a big personality. So she would have been really fun to have. Um, just compiling a little get list of uh, a wishful thinking list, and I won't give you any names, but more often than not, which is shocking to me, when I ask people, they say yes. I'm like, oh my god, I'm dying to come cook in your kitchen, which I'm shocked. So I'm having fun doing that. But Betty White would be a living person, maybe Cher, because she's fun, you know, and she's got a story. I want a story. I want to hear people's stories. Hmm.
I have met Cher 5 times in Vegas when she used to perform, and Cher is Cher. She's exactly what you expect. Talk about real and down to earth. You're just like, what is going on here?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to just have fun with it. Like when you come to my house, people say, "Do I have to take my shoes off?" No, leave your shoes on. It is a very simple, come in, enjoy yourself, no frills, no nothing. You're gonna get a paper plate, whatever, and a red Solo, drink up, eat, and enjoy. That's my house. So
So the opposite of my house. I'm like, shoes off. I'm like, if your cup should be here, why is it over here? I'm not a good entertainer, Caroline. I'm going to leave that to you.
too many people that come in and out here. I'd lose my mind. So you have to go with it.
Do you know, like, I know you don't watch the show, but do you know, like, any of the others? Like, do you know Margaret or Jackie or Rachel Fuda, the other new girl?
I met Margaret and Jackie at BravoCon. I spent maybe 30 seconds talking to Jackie because it just time wouldn't allow, and maybe 20 minutes talking to Margaret and Joe. Um, that's it. I don't know any of the other ones. No.
Do you think, Housewives, RHONJ, like, can this, like you said, like, everyone expires and everyone leaves, but do you think this can go on forever? Like, the ratings overall for some of these shows are down. Like, I mean, we have a world where, Grey's Anatomy is still on, but we have the Real World. Remember the Real World? That's gone. Like, I mean, for all the people, like, can this go on forever?
Nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. The biggest and the best shows, when we were kids are gone and stuff like that. Everything has a shelf life and everybody has a shelf life in the industry. So just enjoy it while we have it, and that's it. And then they'll live forever, right, with the internet, so we don't have to worry about it.
They will live forever with the internet. Are you aware? I made acknowledge, I referenced the fact that you're a fan favorite. Like, are you aware that you're a fan favorite? That people, I mean, do you get asked every day when are you going to be back on TV? I mean, you're on your own YouTube channel with Love, Food, and Chaos, which is great, Food, Love, and Chaos. But I mean, are you aware that people want you back on?
I get asked all the time in the streets. People ask me constantly. Being a fan favorite is something I'll never wrap my head around. But I appreciate everybody, so thank you. But because I've been gone quite a long time, and that's what's shocking when you go back to BravoCon or something like that, and you have that reception because you're thinking to yourself, out of sight, out of mind, and nobody's going to care. But when I saw that reception, I was truly floored. So to think at this point in time that people still care enough is pretty cool. It's pretty nice, and I appreciate it. Shocking, truly.
What do you think people have wrong about you? When they hear Caroline Manzo, like, what do you think? Like, just, like you said, everyone has an opinion, everyone makes up their own backstory. What do you think people have wrong about you?
Um, that I'm some tough, thing that's so, that's, completely immersed in my children's lives, which is not true at all. I'm a very laid back, go with the flow kind of thing, and all my kids have to tell me is that they're alive. I don't ask any other questions. So
Well, this is why people say, like, she's the one that could come back and stand